The worse things get, the better they get. I'm Brian Withers, empowerment coach, trainer, and author. Well, the creative process really shows us that things really can only get better, and then it's just a choice of whether we allow them to get better or not, but they get better. But because we don't understand how life works, we just think that they're getting worse. So let me go into this in a few different ways so that you're clear about what I mean when I say the worse things get, the better they get. So we know, first, let's deal with this part of the image, this right-hand side. So here we are in the physical world, and when something happens that we don't like, then that's contrast. And you can look at contrast in one of two ways: that it's a train wreck, all right, so things are getting worse, or you can look at, oh, it's expansion. My life just got better. And so now you have that available to receive. So let's take a job. You're in a job. You don't like the job all that much. And so if you complain about it, and it is contrast. And also remember, it was you who invited that job in the first place, because it's a match, it's a mirror to your vibration. So it's all about you. It's all about the vibration within you. You are the creator of your reality. So that job is the way it is because your energy is the way it is. So then you don't like it, and then you complain about it, and you say things about it that aren't very nice, and that's all low vibration. So the law of attraction sees that basically you're thinking about it as a train wreck. So that's low vibration stuff. So what's the law of attraction do? It brings another train wreck into your life, the same thing. So what that looks like is you just stay in the same kind of job, or even if you quit and go to a different job, it turns out to be the same experience because it's the same energy. But let me say this first. So it seems like it's getting worse. You got this job and you keep complaining, and it keeps being the way you don't like it to be. In fact, it keeps getting worse because there's things going on that make it feel worse and worse. And that's because you keep talking about it, how bad it is, and there's no end to that hole. The more you talk about it in a way that you don't like, absolutely, the worse it gets, because the momentum is going faster and it manifests even in more profound ways. So it's from the faulty belief version of life, it is accurate to say it gets worse, but thankfully the faulty belief way is not really the true way of life. So what's happening when you don't like that job? That means you've asked for one that you do. Your inner being has set it all up. And as you are focusing on the positive aspects of the way that it is and saying nice things about it, finding out your favorite things and being joyful for what's on the way, then the new experience comes in to replace that experience, and your life expands joyously because there's a nice path that brings that to you. So that tells you on a personal basis, we think things are getting worse, but they're really getting better. And it's just a matter of us understanding that and then receiving the better. So again, and if the situation is really getting, it feels like it's getting worse, the worse it gets, the better it gets. So the more you don't like it, the more your inner being knows what you want and sets up even a more profound and enjoyable experience for you. So every time you don't like something and you get upset about it, then even a better version, an improved version, keeps being ready for you to receive. So it's just a matter of us waking up and realizing, this is contrast. Natural caused me to ask for what I want, and I got to just receive it. I got to stop talking about it like it's something bad. It's not bad at all. It's just contrast where I'm aware of what I want. So that's on a personal level when we say things are getting worse, that they're really getting better. Now, I want to talk about this in terms of the planet as well, because as our world is to our vibration, this planet is to the collective consciousness, right? So there's a vibration, a collective vibration. Now it goes for the whole planet, and then it can go right down to communities and different geographical areas, wherever the vibration is in that area. So it's the same thing. When something is happening on the planet or in your community and you don't like it, it's contrast. But if you look at it as a train wreck, then law of attraction is looking at that collective consciousness and bringing more of the same train wreck, right? Over and over. And we watch the news, we talk about it, we feel the same way, more train wreck. Talk about it, manifests, more train wreck. Over and over and over. But just like our personal life, we as the people of this planet could collectively focus and realize, oh, it's celebration. That means the solution, the answer, the better situation is ready for us all to receive together. So you look around the planet, or just look at the news actually, and you'll see all kinds of things around the planet that people don't like that are going on. And whatever it is, there is a solution in place already. Collective consciousness, our collective inner beings have set that all up for us all to receive. And if we would focus there the same way in our personal life, if we would just focus on the thing that we want and be grateful for the contrast, then we would receive what we want. So you look at any of the number of things going on the planet that aren't very pleasant, and if we would get refocused and appreciate the contrast of it, and to know that right now we could all be receiving the better solution, peace on earth, abundance, harmony, health for everybody. So we want to know that we're not only the creator of our own reality. Collectively together, we're the creator of this planet. And it's just such an odd thing to watch people watching the news, talking about the news, how terrible it is, things going on are so terrible, and they're not even realizing, they're totally asleep, that as they talk about it and they don't feel good about it, they're just asking for the next train wreck. They are in fact part of the collective consciousness that's creating the next train wreck on planet Earth. So watch what you're doing with your energy, because it's not only affecting your own personal life, it's a part of what goes on this planet. So again, we look and we say, or not we, some people say the planet's getting worse, but it's actually getting better. But if you're focused on the train wreck version of what's going on instead of the celebration contrast version of what's going on, then again, from a faulty belief perspective, it's getting worse. But if you're focused on the contrast and you realize that the expansion is ready for us all to receive, then it's getting better. And the worse it looks, the better it is, the better we have to receive. So there's all kinds of things in our vibrational reality on a personal basis and on a collective basis, and it's all about receiving. You hear me talk about that in video after video. It's about receiving. It's not about manifesting. It's not about making things happen. It's not about protesting. It's not about blaming your neighbor. It's not about any of that. It's about getting your energy in alignment so you can receive what you want. Receive it on a personal basis and receive it on a collective basis. Now, let's go to just something a little different here, but along the same lines. Now, we grow up, we come here, pure positive energy, but we get exposed to a lot of faulty information that becomes faulty beliefs, so we sort of live under this dark cloud of faulty beliefs. And those faulty beliefs get us thinking a lot of low vibration thoughts, thinking things about ourselves that aren't very good, things about others, things about life. And so we're under that dark cloud, but we're not really realizing it. Most people don't realize that they're under this dark cloud, and so it's become quite normal. We make negative feeling thoughts normal. Oh, when this happens, you should feel angry. Oh, you got every right to feel frustrated when that happens. And, it's just a complete misunderstanding, because that makes no sense at all. Why would you feel a negative emotion and think it's okay? It's normal to do that. It's not a very natural thing at all. It's an indicator to help you to realize you got to change your thought energy. But again, when the people don't have this education, they don't realize the power of emotion and what it's telling and helping us to do. So we just keep living in the same old way, thinking the same old thoughts. We don't like it. We want life to be better, but we keep thinking those thoughts that won't allow us to receive what it is that life has caused us to ask for. But now we're getting wind of the creative process, the knowledge of life, and it feels good to us. It feels home. It feels right. because it is right, because it is home. It is our natural way. We knew it coming in, but it got covered over with this dark cloud of faulty beliefs, and so we've kind of lost quite a connection with it. So as we start to realize it, and you hear videos like I'm doing here on the channel, if you read my book, The Book of Life, then you realize that the way life is really set up to live. And again, it feels, yeah, that's the way, that sounds like the way it's really supposed to be. But as you start to change and you start to think this way, you start to move away from those faulty beliefs, it can be a little bit uncomfortable, because it's like you're giving up what you know. Even though you don't like it, at least it feels normal to you, and you can count on it. You can count on being miserable. And even though you want to be happy, you got some kind of expectation in terms of the way that you live under these faulty beliefs that life is going to be a certain way. But then you see this creative process and you say, oh, that's good. That feels much better. It feels way better. It seems to be more natural. So you're kind of making your way back under the light. And so at first, as you're doing that, it feels like life is actually getting worse as you're coming into the light, because you weren't aware of all the negative thought patterns that you have and the faulty belief. But as you get over here and you start to get this knowledge, you become aware, and all of a sudden it feels like, oh, it's worse than ever. But it's not worse. It's just that you're becoming aware of how bad it was or is, having lived with faulty beliefs and thinking the things that you do about yourself and about life and about others, and how you get the things that you get, and how it all works. And you just become aware, and you realize, holy smokes, it's just like uncovering something that's been covered up. And you realize now you have that awareness that you have been living under this cloud of faulty beliefs. So, you just got to keep, listening to the videos, reading my book. You keep deconstructing. That deconstruction process is gold, because what it does, it gets you to talk about natural life. And it gets you to realize that these faulty beliefs are complete nonsense. They're ridiculous. And then you start to move over. And it's comfortable, because you're not making a big jump over here. And you really can't do. The law of attraction is not going to let you do that anyway, because these beliefs have momentum. So it's going to be a gradual move over here. And it's going to be comfortable, because as you do the deconstruction process, you are going to realize how silly these faulty beliefs are, and you're going to keep reconnecting with the way that it really is, and then you're going to move over and you're going to get back into your natural high vibration life, and then that's where everything starts to flow for you naturally. See, when you live over here, there's so many blocks going on. All the stuff is there in vibrational reality for you to receive. And it's about receiving, but we're blocked with these faulty beliefs. And so what a lot of human life is about is trying to work around these faulty beliefs, not understanding they're in the way. So trying to devise things that you can get what you want to have, not realizing that there's a big block in the way, and the stuff would all come very easily if you got that block out of the way. So it's very interesting, all the innovative things that humans think of to try to work around faulty beliefs, not realizing that they have faulty beliefs, and that life is hard, and you got to figure things out, and you got to do this and do that. And what it is, it's working around faulty beliefs, when all you got to do is realize, it's not like that at all, and you just get your energy cleaned up, your thought energy, you get back in alignment. It's like opening the door. The pipe opens up, and the way it goes, everything flows into your life, and that's the way it's meant to be. And so it's a very interesting thing when we realize that we're starting to wake up. It's the awakening of humanity, and this is what it's all about. And then as we're waking up, we're realizing, oh boy, we did have a lot of faulty beliefs. We were thinking a lot of things that really were low vibration, not in alignment, and not supporting us in living the life that we want. And all we got to do is clear that, and then all those things we want come tumbling into our life. They come flowing in, and we realize we don't have to do all those things we've been trying to do to have the things that we want to have. It's just about allowing ourselves to receive them. So that's three perspectives on why a lot of times people think that life is getting worse, but it's actually getting way, 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 way better. And that's the way this universe is set up. It's set up for joyous expansion, to continue expand. You never have loss. You always have gain, because you have experience. You have clarity from the experience, and then you have expansion from that. And it's always a gain. So it's just awareness and clarity that you're getting from the contrast, and that creates the expansion. So things are not getting worse at all. They are getting very much better. But if you're looking at things from the faulty belief perspective, then yes, they're getting worse. But you want to stop doing that. You want to stop looking at things from the faulty belief perspective, and you want to be looking at them from the creative process perspective here. And then when you do, then you very quickly realize that your life is getting better, even though it may not have manifested yet. Vibrationally, it's on the way to getting better. Same thing with our planet, and then it's just the same thing with the whole learning of who we are and why we're here. The whole waking up thing is we are moving and progressing towards being back in alignment with our true self, even though the learning process at the first can make it seem like, things are getting worse, but they're not. You're just realizing how bad they were in terms of the faulty beliefs that you had. So it seems that way, but no, it's not that. These faulty beliefs were here all along. You just hadn't been aware of them, and when you start moving over here, you have that awareness. It's like, oh, wow, all of that stuff. It seems like it's worse, but it's not. You're getting better. You're moving into the light. You're moving back to your high vibration life, and you keep going, and that'll all work out. So that's the message for today. The worse things get or look, the better they really are, and they're available for you to receive, and everything is joyous expansion. Okay, thanks for listening in. If you have any questions, leave them on the post, and enjoy your day.